Hello! Guess what? Asetek has just dropped Race Hub 3.0. What does that mean? It means that these lights you see on the side on your wheelbase, on your pedals, on your steering wheel, they're not there for decoration anymore. They now have got a purpose. Look here. All these little things here we're going to be looking at in detail. I'm going to break this video down in a couple of parts. I think the best way to do it is because we're technically looking at 3 different products here. Even though the features are similar, they work differently on each of these. So I'm going to first have the pedals. We're going to look at this light bar, what it can do for you now. Then we're going to look at the wheelbase. And then lastly, we're going to be looking at the steering wheel. Let's have a look what Race Hub 3.0 offers you for the pedals first. So here you can see I've got the pedal cam loaded. Pedal map. I just keep this disabled, but there are a couple of new features here. So just to show you, you can add custom points. And you can just move them together with your mouse to remove them as such. But yeah, you can add as many of these little points as you want. Really fine-tune what these pedals can do for you. Anyway, but you can do that. If that's your thing, you can now move them sliders up and about to your heart's content. Lovely jubbly. What else? Let's look at the LED functions that are on here now. Now, before we even get into the LEDs, I want to show you one thing. Now, I'll put my hands up and I'll say, listen here, I'm wrong when I'm wrong, and this is one of them cases. You might remember when I reviewed these Invicta pedals, I said this. But for now, this light strip on here is purely cosmetic. And it would have been a big selling point for Asetek, I personally think, if they could have incorporated a bit of functionality in this light strip. So, looking back at that, to be honest with you, it's not such a good idea, which I find out when I was testing my P1000s. Is look here, as soon as you've got your feet on here, I mean, that is literally all you see of that LED light. Is this little, let me bend over, this little hole here is what I see. So any warnings or flashes or whatever I get from down there, I do not see them at all. So I want you to keep this in mind. Maybe if you sit seated in a formula position where your feet is very close to the wheelbase, and also if you maybe had a clutch over here, you would have seen another strip to, you know, obviously, then it might be beneficial to you. But for me, as you can see here, I can barely see the light strip at all. Here we are on the Assists tab. So if you click here, it will switch on all the ones for the pedals, but we're just going to do them one by one so that I can show you what will happen in the sim if, let's say, for example, your ABS locks up. You can see there's a big red flash there, and it's actually quite noticeable if your feet is not on it. But let me show you just for interest's sake. This is what it would look like. That is it flashing red now, ABS active. So yeah, keep in mind, you're not really going to see this light bar. So these things are, you know, it could help a little. There you go. And then one thing I do want to note is, unfortunately, you cannot change these colors. If you want a custom color, let's say, for example, I want my ABS lockup to be purple. I cannot set it to purple. These are the colors. Let's go to flags. Let's just switch all of them off. I'm just going to run through them quickly. That's a black flag. You can see it flashing at the bottom. Let's do blue flag. And then checkered flag. Checkered flag one actually looks nice. As you can see, it's got like this little wave pattern, like a wave, you know, the checkered flag is waving. Double yellow. I'm not going to go through all them. Green flag. That's a red flag. I'm not even going to bother with these. You know, white flag is obviously just white, and then you get your yellow flag. Yeah, that's. Before we get started, I've got this GoPro I've got in hand because I want to show you something. From my vision, the way I'm sitting in my race seat here, and I would say it's the same for everybody because you're going to be sitting in the middle of your seat and your wheelbase is facing you like this, and you see the lights on the side and one's there at the bottom. you cannot see them lights at all. So even if you have the Forte base and you just got these two at the top, that is plenty. The ones at the side, I would say, is still just cosmetic. They're not going to help you at all during a race. You're not going to see the lights on the side over here. Hey guys, sorry about this pull running through here, but I want you to see what I see. So this GoPro is facing exactly in the angle what I'm looking at. If I'm looking down at my wheelbase now, what you see in the top right corner is actually my view of my wheelbase and the way I've got mine set up. So here's my hands, and this gap that I see through here is exactly the gap that you guys are seeing here. So as you can see, the last, I would say, maybe 2 inches of the wheels of the strip over here that goes all the way to the back, I don't see. However, I do see it nice and clear what I do see. So let's run through these assists first. We're just going to do the wheelbase. I'm not going to do the steering wheel, okay? That there was now, that flashing you seen there was one of the idle modes. Talking about the idle mode, just quickly over here. Yeah, you see it starts idling and it does this nice pattern thing. This only works when you have RaceHub open. As soon as you close RaceHub, let me show you, it goes to your normal setup, whatever you've got. So just something to keep in mind. Unless you've got RaceHub open, these nice LED features that you see in the idle mode won't work. You have to have RaceHub open. Like you can see there, it's open and we're ready to go. Let's go back to LEDs and let's do assists first. Okay, so wheelbase. We're just going to focus on the wheelbase over here. This is what you'll see when your wheels, your ABS locks up. As you can see it clearly. I mean, that flashing there, as you can imagine, depending on how you mount your wheelbase, it could give you very valuable information, your wheelbase now, which is nice. The car spotter I really like, and I can see it clearly. Now, the only thing, I wish I could change one thing about the spotter. As you can see, the spotter goes up and down the lights. I would have wanted it something like the ABS where it flashes just on the left to get my attention. And then again, I personally would have wanted to change this color so that my car spotter is red, because that's what it would be in my other things. And, you know, my ABS, I probably would have had that color, or maybe a purple color. That's normally what I would pick for my ABS lockup. But anyway, let's run through these. There you go. And then traction control. And that's what you see on the wheelbase. Now for flags, again, I'm not going to run through all of them. I just want to show you this, you know, easy. There's a blue flag, black flag. Checkered flag is also what that wavy color, as you can see. I don't know if you can pick it up on with the camera, but it does look nice. Green flag. We'll do the red flags, just red, of course. White flag is white. And the one that you probably most want to see, well, not most want to see, but the yellow flag is the one you obviously want you to warn you there's a yellow flag up ahead. So yeah, that's the wheelbase in a nutshell. Just here's some of the idle screens that you can pick from. And you can see it now, the wheel and the wheelbase, how they, there's Paradise. Not much happening on Paradise. It's like a slow color change, you know, that's kind of Twister. Twister's a bit more lively. River. River is quite nice, to be honest with you. Again, another thing here, for example, with River. I quite like how River works. You can't change the colors. Yeah, the Sim Sport one. And which one's Clouds? Clouds goes very slowly. As you can see, just moves across. Sweep is quite nice. It kind of comes forwards and back, and it goes to your pedals as well. Let me show you. So you can see the sweep starts there, and it goes to the wheelbase and then to the front, and then yeah, it changes colors. I just would have liked to have sweep, for example, on my wheel and just set my favorite color, let's say red or the bright yellow or whatever, and just have it that one color. But yeah, you can't change the colors. Even like this rider one is actually my favorite. And yeah, you have to keep it on red. You can't change it to blue. So if your whole setup is kind of blue, you want to have these blue lights, you can't have blue lights. Rider is just red at the moment. But yeah, that's it. The wheelbase. Let's get onto the steering wheel. We are on to the steering wheel now. What is new with steering wheel? Let's go in here. First things first, when you come to shift lights, you will see this little sound at optional shift point. Now, I don't know if you'll actually hear the beep. I don't know if it's actually recording the desktop audio or not. However, all that is whenever you reach your optimal shift point, it gives you a very loud audible beep, and it goes beep. And then you need to upshift. Personally, I find it very, very annoying. However, there are people who like that. So if that's your cup of tea, it is now an option. I have heard people say it's kind of hit and miss depending on what car you are driving. I've also heard people say before you actually start driving, whenever you get in a new car, just go through the gears. So whenever you are in the pits, just go from neutral all the way up to 6th gear or 5th gear, whatever how many gears the car have, and it should be automatically set up. Let's go to the LEDs. Let's see, ABS lockup. Oh no, we're doing the pedals here. Sorry, steering wheel is this one over here. I think it's just these, and I quite like it. It's just these encoders flashing. It's not the whole thing flashing red. So that's for you. ABS car spotter. Oh, I actually know what's wrong there. I'll show you now. And then traction control, as you can see, just different colors flash. Yeah, in the flag section, you can pick between flag lights, which will just be these lights over here, or you can say all LEDs, and it's like, so basically let's test this with the yellow flag. So switch all the steering wheels one off. If you were to go, that's a yellow flag in the game. If I were to change that to just flag LEDs, then only these, like they used to be, would switch up. So you have the option. You can have the whole steering wheel go yellow and warn you when it comes to the flags. Here's the white flag. We'll do a green flag. And we're going to do the checkered flag, which is the nicest one again. I want to see more of that animations with some of the others, to be honest. Blue flag. I would have wanted the blue flag just to be these here. Sometimes the blue flag can be on for ages, as you know, when, there's a car behind you and the blue flag's on, your steering wheel is just going to be blue the whole race. So yeah, and yeah, that's your black flag just flashing. So yeah, those are the steering wheels things. And then another... My conclusion. What do I think about RaceHub 3.0? I think it's a very, very welcome addition to already fantastic product line, of course. Is the software perfect? No, it's not. But I'm sure now we're going to be seeing future software upgrades and versions coming that will just build on this and make it even better than what it is already. As always, I hope your next race is a winner. Hallelujah.